But, what you're saying about, parents going to kidnap their child out of a cult, you can't go kidnap a cadet out of the Air Force Academy.
Exactly,
okay?
They're protected.
So they're there, and this group, it's called Cadets for Christ, they are allowed, what the Air Force Academy has every Monday night, once a week, they have something called Special Programs in Religious Education, or SPIRE, they call it, where every Monday night these different parachurch ministries, they have Campus Crusade for Christ crew, and different groups like this are allowed on the campus, and all the cadets go to, and we actually got a group in the same letter to the Department of Defense. We wrote about there is an underground group of cadets at the academy who are not fundamentalist Christians, who are now pretending to be, going to these meetings, attending Bible studies, leaving Christian CDs and literature around their rooms, and in constant fear of being outed that they're pretending, because they see that as the only way they're going to succeed at the academy. Most of them are retribution. Okay, so what we've got here, this further in this one, because I know all this one is I'm okay to talk about here. The same parents that wrote what I just read in another email told us that these Warrick people, they call, and this is really bizarre, they call the wife, Anna Warrick, Miss Anna, like a nursery school teacher. I mean, she's Miss Anna, and it's Dr. Don Warrick, Dr. Don and Miss Anna, that they actually were kind of arranging a marriage of the daughter of these people to a good Christian cadet, because basically they don't see that women attending the Air Force Academy, the government's investing their $400,000 into these Air Force cadets, and they don't see that a woman should be thinking of this as a potential career. Okay, it's like 1950s, go to a place where there's a lot of men to, meet a husband, go to medical school, whatever. Oh. Okay, this is it's so bizarre, and apparently this Christian cadet, the male cadet, the daughter is already talking about marriage, but they haven't even dated.
It's an arranged marriage.
Like it's an arranged marriage. He's the shepherd, she's the sheep. There was another story I dug up, and this one's from a while ago. I went, did a little digging, and there's some stories on various blogs where and this is again to the reinforcing or confirming the cult-like practices, that a cadet who was in the Air Force Academy. This happened quite a while ago, but he's in the academy, and he gets into this group, same group, they've been there a long time, and the guy who's shepherding him, an older cadet, went home with that cadet. The younger cadet had started thinking, well, maybe I want to be a chaplain, and then that progressed to, well, maybe I should leave the Air Force Academy and go to seminary. He went home, I guess, over one break, and apparently his parents weren't receptive to this idea. The next trip home, the next holiday break that the cadets had, the older cadet, the shepherd, accompanied the younger cadet to his family's home to collect all of his possessions and leave to go enter the seminary. Okay? Oh. So in other words, the cult thing, send somebody so the kid can't back out, the parents don't have the opportunity to talk him out of it. This is a cult.
Now, do they subscribe to this kind of weird stuff that Leah and I had listened to the other night, of where they think that they have these powers, like these Christ-like powers that they can control the weather?
I know the shepherding movement. Leah may know more about this than
they do. See, the thing is that this is why we need the umbrella, because there are all these varying things.
Right,
that, these strings that hang off an umbrella, if you could visualize that. And again, like I said earlier, some of them don't quite agree with the other ones, but the bottom line is they're all headed towards the same thing. And the one major goal that they're headed for is dominating and taking over all secular institutions. And, nobody better than Chris Rodda can speak to, the drive to take over education. We're hearing this more and more and more right now with the elections coming up in the midterms, and my biggest fear is that moderate Republicans and progressives and liberals and nonpartisans are going to sit back and not vote. Because if we all vote, we will win. And the thing is that you really have to pay attention to this. It is not an us versus them. They are us. The only reason why politicians are in there that people perceive as being, corrupt or whatever is because we allow them to be by our own apathy of sitting back. And it's really, really serious. I mean, these people want to tear apart the Department of Education and Social Security, and that's just the beginning.
Well, and like what Mikey said, they're locked and loaded. My paraphrased version. When they're
or like Palin
says,
she's not retreating; she's reloading. It's just all this military kind of talk and this, and the gun talk and the militaristic talk. What I'm saying is that we really, really have to understand that this is very, very serious. And what we're discussing tonight is one part of the Seven Mountains, which is the military, but they're aiming at these other secular mountains, and they're doing it simultaneously. But it's no less frightening that they want to obliterate education and control the minds of the children. And then, and I know this all sounds tinfoil hat, but I want people to understand. Neither Chris nor I nor Mikey or anybody else that works in this, we don't want to make this stuff up. I have a granddaughter coming in 12 days. I would like to, if I was going to make something up, it would be a lovely future, and that's what I'm working towards. We have to stop the extremists, though, and they're a minority, and we can, but we really, really have to show up and vote.